Hello and welcome to another Opium Pulses unboxing. Today, as you may have seen, we are doing Doom the Dark Ages. This came in a big cardboard box and this was sort of separate from the main package. So this is the Xbox version. I'll probably play it on both console and PC, but I got this one for Xbox. So we're going to open up the contents of this and the main package. I've got some thoughts about the release of Doom the Dark Ages, which I'm sure I will pepper in throughout. Yeah, if you're interested in what you get with what they're calling the Premium Edition, or Edition Premium, then stick around and we'll get stuck in. First of all, I've undid the wrapping for this, so you don't have to watch that. And as you can see, it is just a code, which I'm not quite sure what that delivers yet. Probably the expansion that's to come in some point in the future, and then a disc. Now, if you've been looking at any of the recent news surrounding this game, apparently, and I can't confirm myself yet, I haven't even played the game yet. I'm pretty busy, so I'm not even sure when I'll be able to. But apparently there's only about 100 or so meg of data on this disk, and it's essentially just a license to install the game from the store. So if you were to buy this to play offline, or many years in the future when Xbox servers do not exist, and let's all be realistic, the days are numbered there, particularly in terms of legacy games, you may not be able to play this, so you may have to install it first. Not something anybody wants to see for a physical release. Why would anybody buy a physical disc game just to install it like they would if they bought it digitally? Anyway, I won't show the other side, but you can essentially see here what comes with the expansion, or with the code that you get with it. So you get the what they're calling campaign DLC, which may be similar to what they did in Eternal. And then you can see that you get a Divinity skin pack, which I couldn't tell just on first glance how much it's different to the base skin. And I don't really care. It's a first-person shooter. It's just stupid. I don't even think this has multiplayer. So, I mean, really, it's a skin you're going to see in the occasional cutscene. I mean, big whoop. They could have done more here. At least you're getting the campaign DLC. That's not something you often see with pre-orders or special editions, at least not anymore. So I am thankful for that, sorry. The rest of it just seems like terms. I mean, like, the back of the box used to get you excited and promote the game. It's kind of delegated to this section here, and then everything else is just fluff. I mean, God, talk about sucking the magic out. Anyway, at the very least, the art is quite cool. I will say, I was hoping after two sort of, new age Doom games to see Quake. I wanted to see the return of Quake, or maybe even a new IP, like they did with Rage. It's kind of disappointing to me that we're now on the third Doom game, and this looks more like Quake than I guess it does Doom in a way. Anyway, I'm not going to go too much on about that. Bethesda, if any of you are watching, please give us Quake or a new IP. Stop rinsing Doom at this point. Hopefully this is a big enough departure that it feels fresh. So, I mean, it doesn't look like it's just following the footsteps of 2016 and Eternal. So I will give them that, but I feel like this could have been done in the Quake universe, personally. So the box is, I mean, absolutely gigantic, almost unnecessarily big. And a good thing about that is that the figure that you get is pretty sizable. And before we open this, I'm just going to pause it and bring, I think, the Doom 2016 equivalent of this so that we can at least match it up in terms of its size and scale. Okay, so I'm back. So, yeah, I've got a few things that we can compare for scale and to see the sort of quality levels, I suppose. But we'll get this out of the box now. We'll stop messing around. I guess I should show... So that's the side, obviously, but the back has got a pretty cool art piece there. It's almost like a... I want to say silhouette style, but that's not really what it is. I haven't got a word for it. I'm not very artistic, but I just like it. That much I know. That's very cool. And the other side is exactly the same. Nothing on the back besides more legal jargon, which really shows the magic of games. Now on top, You've got this. It's a steel case. I don't know why they keep making these. Like, what is the point? I think if you watched my Doom anthology, I think it was in that video, they did something similar. And it's just kind of, why are they still doing it? It's like they've got a factory of unpainted steel cases. Anyway, like, I'm not completely against it. I do think they're much nicer packaging for games, but I guess what separates it here, like, yeah, like, that's, you can't take this foam out. This is a key card from, well, obviously from the very first Doom they were using these, and it's cool. It's metal. It's heavy. You know, it's got good build quality. I guess personally, like, the key cards are just something that drives sort of the progression of the game forward. It's not really, it is iconic in a way, but not. It's not something that you. I don't know. I think if you're a Doom fan, you maybe get what I'm trying to say there. It's just not the coolest thing to have as a physical part of the game. Now, besides this, you know, this can't be taken out. It seems to be glued down. We've got some cool artwork here, but nothing outside of the ordinary. So what is this for? I mean, is this just to hold a keycard? If so, couldn't they have done something a bit more bespoke to the Doom universe? I'm thinking back to, I mean, it's not a good example, but Call of Duty World at War, there was a canteen that you got, like a metal canteen. It was its own unique shape. They didn't just shoehorn it into a steel case or whatever. I feel like something better could have been done. We don't need another one of these to put alongside the game, unless the game's going to go in it. And even then, what are you doing with this then? It's the, you know, the lack of creativity, really, that's going on here. Let's just put a steel case in. Everyone loves steel cases. They've been doing them for years. Yeah, when the game went in it. Anyway, I'd like to see more unique pieces. If you go back to our Diablo 3 video, you know, that game has a lot of problems, but the unique pieces you've got in there, the Diablo had the sort of the crystal USB stick that had the classic games on them. There's a bit of creativity there. Shows a bit of love for the source material. This, a key card, wow. Anyway, let's get the big thing out. I feel like my videos are complaining a lot lately and not doing a lot of anything else. But the big reason for that is because I just don't feel the love anymore for these franchises like we used to. Now, this is going to be difficult to show because that sort of screen at the front is creating a lot of reflection. But there is some cool artwork in the back there, maybe a bit too dark. Let me see if I can... No, it's not gonna work. So I've just cut a bunch of footage there because there's no way I can get the camera to look in here and see the backdrop. We either get too much reflection from this, or I'd be looking at it from the top with a flash on or something, but you'd be viewing the artwork from a completely wrong angle. Anyway, yeah. There may be pictures online that will sort of illustrate the artwork inside a little bit better, but it's not why you're buying it anyway, because the figure's going to be taking up the most of the space. So I'll take this box down and I'll show you the figure, which has to come out of this. Oh man, that's loud. Has to come out of this packaging. Oh boy, oh boy. What? Okay. Wow. Okay, so every other kind of negative thought I had kind of washes away when I see the quality of this. It's like that sort of hardened rubber feel, the sort of vinyl feel, so it's not cheap plastic or anything like that. The attention to detail is just insane. I mean, like, to every bullet, you know, on that, and this chain is loose. I mean, it's incredible, really. I find it very hard to say anything negative when I see something that seems like every tiny detail was considered. You know, they didn't cheap out on any element. What does this do? That looks like it does something. I didn't do any research. Oh, and his hand fell off, just as I was complimenting him. I don't know if that's supposed to do something. Not quite a fan of his hand falling off, but I think it's for a very good reason, which I'll show in a minute. Wow, how and what does that thing do? Hard to say. It's going to be a bit like the other video I did where I couldn't find it, but I'll do some research before I end the video, and if I find out what that is, we'll do a sort of very jarring clip back to it. Anyway, I think I've shown as much detail as I can there, but for scale purposes, this is the Doom Eternal Collector's Edition, which comes with the Revenant. You can see in terms of their size, are very, very similar. I wouldn't be surprised if they were made by the same team. But I feel like the detail is maybe more present here. Just every single bolt and nail and buckle is all represented, whereas with the Revenant, it's kind of like his guts are just one big blob. I mean, I was amazed with the Revenant when I first saw it. I still think it's really cool. But I do think they've sort of upped their game here in terms of the presentation. Like, if you look at the back spine there, it gives the impression that there's detail, but there really kind of isn't. It's kind of cool looking, but without that sort of attention to detail that maybe could have gone into this. The problem is the source material for this is kind of standard. They know each and every kind of element that they need to design, whereas the Revenant is, I guess, he's represented different in every piece of medium, and even in Doom 2016, I guess they're a fast-moving demon with half of their body burned or ripped apart. So it's kind of, it's harder to get the detail exactly right on a Revenant. Another point of reference, I suppose, is this, which came with... well, actually, I don't think it came with the game, but this is a Quake Champions figurine, whatever you want to call them. What do you call these? Let's go with figurine. And he sits with his gun under his hand, like so. So the gun kind of acts as a third leg, like that. So the scale, and again, it's bringing it a bit closer because the attention to detail is, well, great. Again, quite not on, and I mean, this is a bit dusty because it's kind of on display in my home. But yeah, the presentation, while great, doesn't have the same insane quality of detail that this one does. The only thing that I think they could have done better really here is the platform looks a bit like, it doesn't look very well detailed. It looks low. It looks like I'm looking at a low resolution game, like Doom 3 or something in terms of its detail. It's like the closer you get, the more detail you lose. So I think the platform leaves a lot to be desired. I wouldn't be surprised if they were designed by different teams or on different budgets. But the quality of the actual figure himself, you cannot fault that. It's great. It really is great. There's another part here, which I'm not a fan of. Like, I think it makes him look kind of silly, but he's got... And this doesn't look great build quality either. This... yeah. It's kind of hard. Yeah, and I think you're supposed to put that on his back and it sort of acts as a cape. You get the picture. I can't really be bothered. It's not going to fit on him in my home because I think it looks ridiculous. And I don't really like the whole fur. He's got body armor. Why is he wearing fur? Anyway, it's not going to go. It's not going to go on my model. I think he looks a lot cooler like this. I would even probably get rid of this chainmail if I could. But speaking of chains, this is kind of... I don't really like the idea of swappable sort of guns and stuff. I'm not going to use him as an action figure as such. But it does come with like a... I don't even know what you would call these. I always want to say mace, but it's not a mace, is it? Comment if you know the name of these. Is it a flail? Maybe it's a flail. But somebody's probably more educated than me. So you can see this, which is why the super shotgun fell off, is because you can swap it out for this. But it's going to be dragging on the floor, so I'm not quite sure I would use that. And the super shotgun's more iconic anyway. I guess for now, at least, the flail, if it is called as such, is new, and it might gain the same popularity as the super shotgun. I'm not too sure. Anyway, that is all that you get with this. And while it does come with the game and it does come with the expansion and it comes with this, I have serious problems with the way that the content is delivered. It feels very much like this is, we're not going to see much more of this. You either buy a model, for those collectors, or you buy the game, but that's digital. You do not get these super fancy versions of the game. You do not get them on their disc. You do not get them pre-installed to play offline, or for keepsake, for preservation, for when services and servers and stores fronts are no longer available. That looks like we're not forward thinking, and as an industry, the biggest industry, we need to be more forward thinking in terms of how we preserve our art. And whether you like video games or not, I don't think anybody can disagree that they are works of art. And it's sad to see that what used to be what you would go home on the bus from when you'd bought it from your local digital store, and you would read the manual, which, by the way, we're not even talking about the manual. That's long gone. But at the very least, you would be looking at the back and reading all the features and what you can do, the jumps in technology, that sort of thing. All of that's gone. It's just gone. You really have the artwork. You have a disc pretending to be how the game is played. You may have a code. I mean, once that's used, it's practically pointless. Throw it in the bin. And even in the back, this is all just technical jargon now and legal terms and whatever else. I didn't want this to turn into a rant video, but I do feel like it's... we celebrate a lot of games on this channel, and we celebrate the physicalities and the things that we can look at and remind us of our experience in those games. And maybe we don't talk too much about preservation. Maybe I do. Maybe I rant a bit too much these days. Anyway, I don't want this video to be super long. I'm not going to ask for likes and subscribes like a lot of other channels do. What I'd like to ask is that if there was anything about this video that stuck out, good or bad, or anything you'd like us to cover more in future, ways we can change this channel to be more engaging, please leave it in the comments. Please let us know that you're watching at all. It sometimes feels like we put this out to the void and it doesn't reach anybody, but we do get a fairly decent amount of views, a couple of thousand. I'm happy with that. A couple of thousand people watching this and kind of learning and getting entertainment. That's enough for me, but I'd like to know you take it in for whatever it's worth. Let us know in the comments what you took from this, good or bad, and what we can do better. And let us know what you think about Doom: The Dark Ages. I'd really be interested to hear what people are thinking about the game. Is it what they wanted? Do they continue to want more Doom? Do you feel like there are other franchises that could get more love? Or should we stop rehashing the same IPs? As much as we love it, we need new things to hold dear to us. We can't just keep rehashing the same shite. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a good hour. Not a good day, you probably don't deserve it, but for the next hour, enjoy it.